In the last lecture, you learned how to set up custom alerts so you get email notifications when there is a traffic drop or spike on your website. Now in this lecture, we are covering the final point in our Google Analytics setup and installation section of this checklist. This is really point number 9. We really want to get it up to 100% on this section. So I'm going to show you really how to make Google Analytics annotations in Google Analytics so you don't really forget why some of these traffic drops and spikes happen, so you can have easy notes there, and also make notes, for example, when marketing campaigns launch, etc. So let me just get straight into it and show you. I suggest you come across to your Google Analytics account, click on the reporting tab, and you're going to get this general overview of your traffic over the last 30 days. And if you click down here, what you can see is up pops this little note saying create new annotation. So what I would suggest what I'm going to do anyway, and what you might want to do as well, is some of these spikes in traffic, I want to make a note of those now so that I don't have to dig into them every time to find out what was the reason for the spike. And I want to make this note now at the end of the month while the information is fresh in my head, because if I look back on this in 2 or 3 months, if I look back at it even in a year, I will probably forget what that spike was really about. And it's a big job to look back in maybe a year's time to look through all these spikes if you're looking for opportunities to grow your business. So that's why I suggest, as part of this monthly audit, you come in and make these little notes. And they're very simple to make. What I'm going to do is make a little note here for this traffic spike and explain it so I have a recollection of it. I'll do it for the other ones as well. So I'm going to come in and click a new annotation. I want to put it for June 27th, so I can just come back here and really select that. And then I just need to add a little note in here. And what you can do is you can share these annotations or you can make them private. I would suggest you leave these by default as shared, because if you pass on your site to somebody else, a colleague takes over the analytics, they can come in and see all of this history here which you have really noted down. If you keep all of these private or you don't make these annotations at all, then it becomes very difficult for somebody else to take over and to really see how your site performed and what was the best performing thing. So really good idea to make these annotations. It'll make your life easier. It'll also make your site more valuable if you ever decide to sell it on, or you're using a client site so they can really see the notes. So I know for Monday, June 27th, that was the day I emailed out SEO checklist. So I know that myself. I'm just going to add that really note in there, and that's really it. So if you come across now, I can see this little annotation here. It just pops right up. So I can see very quickly what was the reason for that spike there. Now I'm going to do these for all of the rest of them as well. This is really every time I sent out an email promoting a new piece of content that I'd released for free. And that was really what drew people into the site. Those free SEO checklists, those free WordPress, set it up in 5 steps, etc. The notes really for this course is what I promoted to draw people into the site and really then collect their email addresses. Okay, so if you're not sure what these spikes are about, you can come in and investigate them very easily. What you might want to do is come across to the date range. I'm going to select 27th of June. I'm just going to isolate that day, and I'm going to select the end of the period to be 1 day as well. So I'm just looking at 1 day here. And what I'm going to see is the spike in traffic there, even the hour of the day that it happened. That was probably the time I sent out the email. And what you can do is maybe come across into acquisition tab here. I'll get into this in a little more detail, but if you want to see a really quick way about how this works, you could come into maybe source medium, and I can see that email was the main source of this traffic. And what I can also do then is come down into behavior and also look at all of the pages that were most popular on that particular day. And there I can see the SEO checklist that drove almost 70% of the traffic for that day. So if you're not sure what those spikes are, that is the way to come in and investigate them. Isolate the day when the spike happened. You might want to come into your traffic source, click on source medium, and then click on to the pages. What page did people actually come to? Because it's not only important where they came from, it's really important to see just what they did when they got here. So coming back to our reporting tab, you can see that I'm still isolated on this day. So I want to reverse the date range. Let's change this to last 30 days. And I'm actually going to set the first day to the 26th to keep this consistent with what I was looking at before. So 26th to 26th. So after you've maybe investigated those spikes, you want to set that up. Let me just do this right now. Okay. There we go. You can see the little annotations there. I'm going to add the other ones in as well, just myself personally. So I just suggest you take a little bit of time, make those notes there now. Even just add a little note in here saying, started taking analytics seriously. This is a little note that you can just add in to maybe, or even say that you've set up the email reminder for customer alerts, anything like that. I would just definitely test it out now, and you'll find more reasons as we go through the course to add these notes in. All right, so I'm ticking that off now, completed 100%, delighted to see that. In the next lecture, we're really getting into the audience tab, which is down here in the sidebar. We had a quick look at some of the reports already. We're getting into the audience tab. We're going to be looking at the standard reports in here. This is really where our analysis starts now, where we're going to be asking ourselves these questions. So I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture where we're going to be looking at the audience tab.